I always me Harry this side. In this particular video, I'm going to explain you a expiry day option selling strategy for Bitcoin. And this strategy has been specially optimized for Cryptx as per the timing, everything that is taken into consideration. Now, I'm going to show you the parameters that I looked into while developing this particular system. So, what are the crux of it? So first of all, let's study the volatility window of Bitcoin. So when I'm to speak about the volatility that happens in Bitcoin, I just wanted to say that majority of the movement generally start after 7 a.m. in the morning. So if you have a look at it, we see that the volatility expanding from 7 a.m. in the morning, and it goes up to almost like late night 8 o'clock. So 7 a.m. in the morning to 8 o'clock is when we generally have higher volatility in Bitcoin. Now, if you speak about a period when there is least volatility, that is like after 11 until 6 a.m. in the morning, this is generally when we see lower volatility. So post 11 p.m. at night, we see the volatility coming down. Now, let's speak about the average intraday movement that is expected in the markets in the case of Bitcoin once again. So, if you have to speak about the intensity of the movement, we generally see big intense moves happening after 6 o'clock. So, if you are a directional trader trading Bitcoin, a good period of time for you to be trading directional movements in Bitcoin is recommended to be post 5 p.m. So this 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. is generally the time when we have larger moments, that is more intense moments that is happening as compared to the rest of the day. And generally post 10 p.m. again the intensity of the move or the strength of the move drops down. Due to the same reason, we can say that the chances of you getting into an actual breakout or an actual directional move after 10 o'clock is generally lesser. Now, let me just break the daily range for you. So, if I'm to speak about a period from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. Indian Standard Time. So, whatever I'm speaking right now is purely with respect to Indian Standard Time. So, 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. If I'm to speak about it, this is a period of time when we see multiple fake outs. We don't see much of a liquidity. We see that the market is usually in a contraction during this particular period, is in a consolidation in general. Now, from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. IST, this is generally when the volatility starts picking up. But we still have false breakouts, all those things happening during this time again. Now, let's get into the period from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. This is when the market revives. The European markets become active, and we generally see a movement of around 2 to 3% range movement that is happening in this time. And gradually, we see Bitcoin coming out of a consolidation phase also. This is the time generally we see breakouts, all those things, structures forming. And as I said, after 5 p.m., this is the time when the big movements usually happen. That is the overlap of the New York as well as the London timing. Okay, and this is the ideal time for trading a direction in Bitcoin. So, what are we going to do? In this is an option selling strategy. So we need to enter into a time when the volatility compresses, and we're going to get some sort of a premium crush. We're going to make money from theta decay as a seller. So due to the same reason, like we are going to focus on trading post 11 p.m. Okay. So let me just give you a structure to it. So the strategy that I'm going to be discussing right now. Let me just share my screen. I hope my screen is visible to you at this particular point in time. Okay. So this strategy, we are keeping the base index to be BTC USDT. Our entry timing is considered to be 11 p.m. So 11 o'clock in the evening is when we will be looking forward to enter into the trade, and we look forward to hold on to the trade till expiry. So expiry on Cryptx is at 1:30 p.m. So now the time is 1:10. So I'll also show you the position that I have running right now. So from 11 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. is generally how long we hold on to the trade. Once again, from 11 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. is in general how much we hold on to the trade. 11 p.m. at night to 1:30 p.m. the next day, that is till the time of expiry and Cryptx, is when we hold. So what we are looking forward to do is we will go ahead and see what is the at the money strike. I'll show you with a live example. We'll see whatever is the at the money strike, and then we'll select a strike that is 3% above at the money and 3% below at the money. That is like we'll give a range of plus or minus 3 to the spot. So let's assume that if it is 100, we'll go ahead and sell 103 strike on the call side, and we'll go ahead and sell 97 put 97 strike on the put side. That is, we're creating a strangle. Okay. So in this particular backtest, I'm using plus or minus 4. So if I'm using plus or minus 4 means if 100 is the spot, 100 plus 4%, which is 104 strike call will sell, and 100 minus 4, that is 96 put 96 strike put we are going to sell, and our stop loss is going to be 100%. That is, if I'm selling for let's say $20, for example, yesterday I sold a call option and a put option was $20 each. So call option, if I'm selling at $20 means my stop loss for the call is going to be at $40. Same thing in the case of put. If I'm selling a put of $20 means my stop loss for the put is going to be 100% of 20, which is going to be $40, where my stop loss is going to be. I have also given a re-entry condition on the stop loss. That is, by any chance my stop loss is getting hit, I'm going to go ahead with a re-entry with again the next strike that is 4% above the spot, again with a 100% stop loss. So that condition or that parameter also has been given in. So here we are considering the backtest for one Bitcoin. Okay, and to make my results as much realistic as possible, I'm bringing in, or I'm actually putting in a condition of 10% slippage. So with respect to this strategy, on an actual basis, when I'm running this particular setup, on actuals, the slippage that we generally face is 5%. But here we are probably like giving extra buffer. That is, we are bringing in a slippage of around 10% so that everything is factored in into the back test. Okay. And I myself majorly make use of limit order algos in order to enter my position so that I get uh, the best executions as possible. Algos that will keep trailing depending on the market price moving, and enters with limits so that my charges are also lesser, as well as my entries are also as per what I wish for. Okay. And right now I'm running this particular strategy on one Bitcoin. Now let me just tell you how the backtest goes. So let me just run this backtest for you. And I run an alternative or an advanced version of this particular strategy for myself. But this, whatever I'm explaining you right now, is good enough for a profitable trading system. So my entries looks into the directional bias also, and looks into the ATR ranges also in order to decide the stop loss, as well as to decide which days to skip trading, depending on how the combined premiums of the straddles are expanding or cooling down. So there's a little bit more of an advanced version that can't be shown on backtest on algo test. So I'm just explaining to you the concept. So yeah, so this is how the backtest would look like. So more or less almost every month has been a winning month for this particular strategy, and the maximum drawdown is around 1 lakh. And this is on one Bitcoin, the backtest that has been shown. And ideally speaking, for you to be running the strategy on one Bitcoin, I would recommend you to keep 10 lakh rupees margin money. So in that particular case, this 1 lakh drawdown, and this drawdown is after charges 10% slippage also. So it's like a drawdown comes to around 12%, which is fairly decent. So if I have a look at the returns, uh, over a span of a year, it has generated around 6.67 lakhs in profit. Your average profit per trade is around 1,675. That is including the winners and losers. So your average profit on a winning trade is around 4K, and your average loss on a losing trade is around 8K. So when I speak with respect to the loss to risk, the risk is higher. But what helps us is the higher accuracy in this particular system is what definitely helps you to be on the winning side. So this is one of the systems that I personally follow. A little bit more advanced version of it. So I'll just give you a quick insight about how like how you do this. So I'll just come to my account in Cryptx again. So yeah, so I just told you. So now we had just 14 minutes left to expiry. That is at 1:30. This contract is going to expire. So what we do is, so yesterday, for example, when we entered into this particular trade, at the money was around at like 11:30. At the money was around, let's say, 97,000. So what we do is, we go ahead like 4% above at the money, which was around 101,000 call option. This is what we solved, and our entry premium was 20 rupees. Same way, 4% below 97,000 was like around 94,000 put is what we solved. And our entry price again was $20, okay, not rupees, $20. So we enter into this particular strangle, we sell a call, we sell a put, and then, as I mentioned to you, our stop losses double the premium that we sell. So our assumption is that after 11 p.m. at night, once the volatility compresses, then by default till 7 a.m. the next day morning, we usually don't have much of a volatility. This time we should be getting some good premium crash that is going to happen. And on top of that, since our expiry is happening at 1:30 p.m. on Cryptex, we'll have an accelerated theta decay also coming in. So if at all the market, assuming that Bitcoin generally gives an intraday move of plus or minus 2.5% in general, if for not like the market manages to stay in this particular range, we will be able to make money out of the theta decay that is happening, because these options are going to expire out of the money most of the times. Or even if one of the sides are stop losses to hit, we assume that the other side has to expire worthless, which will compensate approximately for the loss that we take up. Now, the bad case scenarios happens when we have multiple V-shaped moves, or because of a big movement in crypto, our stop loss gets jumped, all those things. For the reason I do have an algo in place that will take care of all these volatility movements, and does some sort of a hedging if at all we see some big movements happening with respect to futures, all those things. So today, like this is deployed on one Bitcoin, and I have kept around 10 lakh rupees margin to do one Bitcoin strangle. That is one Bitcoin short on the put side and one Bitcoin short on the call side. So I'm making around $40. So which would be like 3,600 rupees would be my gain on a 10 lakh deployed margin, which is around 0.36 percentage in this particular specific trade. So this is a strategy that can be deployed on a daily basis, and this can be considered to be an income strategy. Only thing is your risk management has to be really good. So let me just quickly show you again the back test with respect to this particular system. So this is like your win rate is pretty high. Your average profit on a winning trade to losing trade, this is the ratio that comes in. So your risk is, or a risk on a losing trade is like twice the risk on a winning trade. So if big movements, all those things happens, that is when you have a challenge trading this particular system. That is why I told you, like I do have some hedging mechanisms, and I do have some other trend following systems also that trades in during the other parts, like some situations like this is to be handled. Now, to quickly show you an approximate idea about how things would be, like some other conditions also we personally use, and the results once again can vary a lot. Um, Similar systems can even be run in Ethereum also. You can definitely figure it out yourself. Like I do run some systems for Ethereum too on similar grounds. So if a slight variation of the same strategy that I discussed to you, this would be the kind of returns you can have, where you can see your overall profit is around 5.75 lakhs, with your average profit on a winning trade to be 4k and your average loss on a losing trade to be around 5.3k. And your drawdown reduces drastically to 47k from almost 1.2 lakh that you saw earlier. That is, drawdown can be reduced drastically. So in this case, you can even run one Bitcoin for 5 lakh rupees capital. So now I just wanted to tell you, people with smaller capital, if you're trading with, previously I told you you can do one Bitcoin with 10 lakhs margin. So that is what I am doing. So if you have only 1 lakh capital, then you can do zero point 0.1 Bitcoin. Okay. And if you're having just 10,000 rupees capital, you can do 0.01 Bitcoin. So you can size your quantity depending on your capital. So doesn't necessarily mean that you need minimum 10 lakhs to run this particular strategy. So that is the good part about it. So if I'm doing this with 5 lakh rupees margin, because the drawdown is just hardly 10%, you can generate around 100% with this optimized parameters in a year by taking just a drawdown of around 10 percentage. Here also I have considered a slippage of around 10% for my entries, and the charges are also factored in. So this is how it goes. Now, if anyone who wants to trade the same system that I had discussed right now, you can definitely sign up on Cryptx India, and my team will make it a point that this strategy is made available for you to get started off with trading. So I wish everybody the very best in their trading. So I hope I have been able to add some value to your trading strategies today. So you can also work on these kind of setups and try it out. So wish you the very best in your trading. So as far as we are concerned, I just wanted to say, with respect to whatever we do, we generally show you what result we have been able to generate out of the same strategy in the past. Correct. So not a long duration period I can show you, because it's something new to us also. But this is one similar setup that we have run on one Bitcoin on a $1,000 margin, and we have currently managed to generate around $1,800 in profit from October to 13th Jan. There's like around 180 percentage. Okay, it's a realized P&L. So this has been run on a Delta Exchange account. So verified, you can check it out. So with respect to Cryptx right now, the parameters that I told you is optimized for Cryptx, considering the expiry to be at 1:30, and that is the sweet spot. Why? Because from 11 o'clock to 1:30 is what we are holding, and we have the expiry happening sooner, which makes it more better of an advantage. So I'll be updating you the results of what I'm able to do with respect to the results on Cryptex on a daily basis. Now this will expire worthless. Okay, so let's hope for the best. So thank you all. So thank you for your time. So I wish everybody the best in their trading. So my margin sizing is like I do one Bitcoin for 10 lakhs. If you're having 1 lakh, I would recommend you to do zero point 0.1 Bitcoin. Now, if you have just 10k, you can do zero point 0.01 Bitcoin. That's what is recommended for you to be doing on Cryptex. So I wish you the very best, guys. Thank you all. Have a great day.